Highlights of the Ballyglass 50th anniversary celebrations brought to you in association with DNG Searle Burke. Searle has been working in the property sector for more than 30 years, both in Ireland and abroad, and has built up a wealth of knowledge and experience of the Mayo residential and commercial property market throughout the years. His expert advice is available to ensure his clients have complete confidence in his abilities to manage their properties. He will go the extra mile to ensure they receive the highest possible price with his professional and hard-working approach. Searle is a director of DNG and is also a member of the Institute of Professional Auctioneers and Valuers. For more information, check out their website. Ballyglass Football Club is a small rural club in the heart of Mayo and recently celebrated a half century of football, friendship and unforgettable moments. 50 years of Ballyglass Football Club, a remarkable milestone for a club built on passion, dedication and community spirit. Founded in 1975, Ballyglass has grown from humble beginnings into a proud pillar of local sport. Now let's take you back to the beginning, where and how it all started.
It happened, there was a fodder crisis in this country in 1974, and Tommy Joe Walsh's father, Tommy, bought a stack of straw off Michael Keaveney's father, who was Martin Keaveney. So the two boys, Tommy Joe and Michael, were given the job of moving the stack of straw from one barn or one shed or field to the other. And during that process, they had a conversation about soccer and about maybe forming a club in Ballyglass. So they decided that they'd look further into it. And Michael, because he was familiar with Johnny Mee in Castlebar, who had been involved with Castlebar Celtic. So Michael approached Johnny and asked him what was involved or how would we go about it. And Johnny gave him the full information. I'm afraid there was no mobile phones or anything like that at the time. So I think he had to write to the league, whoever was involved at the time. And they gave them the information. And they put a committee of young lads that were around the place at the time together. And in 1975, they had their first day out. Michael went to England in the 60s. He was a young guy and he went to England in the 60s. And he was working around London, the London area. And he became a great supporter of the Arsenal. And he often spoke to us over the years about all the time he had spent in Highbury. And that's how the whole thing formed. And he had been, a regular visitor to soccer matches in England at the time. And he was interested to get something going here. Well, we used to use the Turla, which is behind me here. And unfortunately, the Turla used to flood for the winter time. So we might get a few games in maybe in the month of August or early September if the weather wasn't too bad. So then after that, then you'd have to start looking at local farmers' fields, So we toured around to different farmers' fields. Kevin Riley used to give us a field down here on the Ball Road, and there was Connolly's up past the village, and even my own brother used to give us a field there up the Ballinrobe Road. So we always had places to go, but sometimes the surface mightn't be the best, but we still got by, so we did. We had been going through the 80s and we'd been going through that process of moving around from field to field. And I think as the mid-80s came and, things were getting more popular and there was a bit of money started to come into the country then. And we always, had this idea we wanted to have our own grounds. And even towards the late 80s, it was becoming more and more the big idea for us, And then we had a few fundraisers and then a piece of ground here that we're standing on came for sale then around 1989 or possibly early 90. And we had those several meetings held about this. Would we be able to afford it and stuff like that? And eventually we made the purchase.
Ballyglass FC was the brainchild of Michael Keaveney.
Well, I suppose it was an idea I got from having an interest in football, and that interest, I suppose, developed during my time in London. And I actually lived in Highbury Hill beside the Arsenal Stadium, and when you live in Highbury Hill, you're bound to take an interest in football. So returning to Ireland in 1972, I began to talk to a few people, and but we got to thinking that maybe there was something needed in this area. It was a startling, I suppose, departure to start something like soccer, because when I mentioned it to a few people, a few people laughed at me, but fortunately, enough people took me seriously to make it a viable proposition.
Rory Kevin, Seamus Burke and Michael Keaveney were prominent in getting the club off the ground.
Michael, as Gerald was saying earlier, Michael called to the house, the farmyard.
It's Michael Keaveney.
Michael Keaveney, yeah, and he'd be canvassing for players, young lads, would we help him out forming a club. We thought probably he was a bit mad, like, but at the same time, there was nothing for youth around here at the time. So in fairness, everybody delved in behind him and helped him all the way, like, you know. And he was a great man, like himself and Tom and Joe. This club, when you can see what's around here today, after the two of them, is absolutely brilliant.
So you were on the first team.
I was.
Ballyglass football. I think we were called the Ballyglass Babes, were you?
That's right, yeah. Our first game was away to at the Mess. They're down Ballyness side.
You hammered them.
We did. We bet them 8. I don't know, was it 8-1 or 8-0. But I scored the first goal. I scored 3 on the day.
So you have the honour of being the first goal scorer of Ballyglass Football Club.
I have, and we also smashed the crossbar. It was made from a 2x1 laths at the time, like, you know, and they got rid of that and they put up a rope to finish out the game, and we got away with it, like, you know. But,
who were some of the other players who were on the team with you?
There was 3 of the Heenahan lads. There was Joe, Pay and Stephen. There were 3 brothers. There'd have been Oliver Hughes, Quicksilver they used to call Ollie, and Brendan Hughes, Tommy Durkin, Rory Kevin, them lads. They gave their total commitment at the time, you know. We progressed a lot from there because, you know, the amount of coaching and training wasn't in it at the time. You can see behind us there after a game, we'd go down there and wash and clean up, like, yeah, before you'd head off for maybe pub or whatever, raise a few pounds if we could for the club, and that's the way it was at the time. Like, I mean, money was scarce and one helped the other.
During that particular period, you had some great success as well, Seamus.
We had, we won divisional cups, divisional leagues up along, and 1991 season was the first one that we won the Premier. And Michael was chairman, Michael Keaveney, he was chairman of the Mayo League at the time, so he had great pleasure in presenting the cup to his own team, like, you know.
Great, okay.
Yeah. So James Prunty was the captain of that, and you won't get that done too often now that the chairman is from the club that won the league. But fortunately, that was us.
Success came to the club in 1982 with their first league championship win under new manager Tommy Joe Welsh. Ballyglass was to have its golden age in the 1990s. The club had unprecedented success and became one of the giants of Mayo football. Ballyglass became Mayo champions 3 times during this decade, the first win coming in 1991 under manager Seamus Burke.
Looking back at your days playing here, when were they?
Through the 90s, 91 to 2001. That's when I played for the club. 10 great years. We won loads of stuff, and better than that, we made some great friends, and we really enjoyed some away trips, didn't we, boys?
Absolutely.
Yeah, our away trips were hilarious, so they were. Win, lose or draw, we had some crack.
Yeah. And how do you feel about playing today now against?
I'm looking forward to it. It's great to see the old buddies back again playing. Now, some mightn't fit into the shorts they used to fit into years ago, but anyhow, we'll see how it goes. It's enjoyable.
When did you train last?
When did I train at? Well,
2007.
It's been a while. Let's just say that.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the game.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. It should be a bit of fun, bit of crack.
And ask you the same as what are yours? Same years?
Same years, yeah.
Yeah.
And we went on for a long time the Masters as well, up around Castlebar. We played till I was 44. But that was good crack. I come from Shrew, which is a long way from here. How many miles is that? 20, 25 miles. Come up here twice a week, training all the matches. Our kids grew up with the kids, their kids, you know. So it was more of a club than a team as such, Ballyglass. Wasn't it really? How about you?
Yeah, the same as that now. I played with these lads, so same old thing. It was good old crack and plenty of beer.
You have to get your priorities right now.
Will it be very competitive today, the game?
No.
I'd say be very relaxed. I'd say no, very relaxed.
My years, oh crikey, you're going back to 1988. When I probably started first with the under 11s, it was that time, then moved on to the 13s and all the way up to senior level then.
Yeah. And had you some success in your years?
Yeah, we had some success, not so much at underage, but the team that won the 97 league, you had to make 5 appearances to get a medal, and I was about 17 and I made the 5, so I have my Super League medal.
Oh, that's fantastic, yeah.
So
a lot of these guys now will be meeting for the first time in a long period.
Oh, some of them mightn't have met each other in 10 years, yeah. So a lot of them not in good shape, I wouldn't say, fitness-wise, but hopefully we'll get through it. It's only a bit of fun.
With regard to Ballyglass Football Club, it was founded in 1975. I was the first treasurer of it. The chairman, I think, was Tom Wilson. The secretary was Michael Keaveney. Unfortunately, they're both passed away. I'm the last man standing as regard the officer board. I was treasurer of the club in 1975. It was probably the easiest job you could have got because there wasn't a penny to be accounted for. The biggest problem we had was getting a football to play football. I don't know how we done that. I think we borrowed it for the sports club or something like that. So it was fairly humble beginnings. Following on from that, the club progressed. It had its first game, it won it. It had a mediocre season the first season, had some up and down seasons following that. I wasn't involved in the club then for a number of years because I was studying. I think I came back into the club in the late 70s, maybe early 80s. Started playing again, having been injured, playing football earlier on. And I took over as chairman in 1989 for a period of 10 years. And that was a very, I suppose you could say, successful period. It was enjoyable. We built the club. We bought the field, or whatever you want, the land. We built the club, and it was opened in 1996 by the president, Mary Robinson, and that was a fairly auspicious occasion for the village.
It's not every day, ladies and gentlemen, that we have 2 presidents from Mayo together. And I was delighted to be playing second best to President Mary Robinson, who honoured Ballyglass Football Club by coming along here today. And I know that she was impressed. And not alone was she impressed, she even was wise enough to have the colours of Ballyglass. I don't know whether you noticed that, but she was in red and white today. and she's to be complimented on that.
The Michael Keaveney Park in Ballyglass Football Club was dedicated in memory of co-founder Michael Keaveney on the 22nd of July 2008. This was a very proud day for members of the Keaveney family who remember their late father's early days in trying to get the club up and running.
Yeah, well, like many people of his age at the time, he had immigrated to London, and upon his return and after being inspired by seeing the great football matches in London, he was a big Arsenal fan, he reconnected with a childhood friend, Tommy Joe Welch, and the story goes that over the sale of Okakahay, they hatched a plan to put a football team together, and there was a lot of like-minded individuals in the village right now, and back then they were also interested in finding something to rally the community around. There was some interest in football or soccer, and there was also some clubs, coming together in Mayo. So before long, there was a team, hacked together, and a few friendly matches were played, and then around 75, the very first competitive game from the newly formed club was put on, and there was a fantastic win to kick off this great history.
So we were cleaning out the house, Henry, and this is the 3 books. And I wasn't actually sure what I was looking at first. When I opened the front page, it was the first match that was played for Ballyglass FC in 1975, 25th of August. And I knew he'd kept records, but I had seen them, but didn't think we'd ever see them when we were cleaning the house out. Like, it was just by accident, really. And interestingly enough, one of the players, PJ Brett, who scored 2 goals in that 8-2 defeat of Atty-Mass, when you go forward through all the books, you go on to one of the last entries in 2005 that put in was indeed a match against Castlebar Celtic B, where they drew 1-1, and one of the players there was PJ's son Gary. So the circle was made, in that amazing. You can see there's every match throughout the 80s. Now, I didn't go through every single game, but I knew he'd be on Sunday night. Yeah. The 2 jobs were ringing up the Connacht and the Western with the report, which I ended up doing as well, and writing in the teams and all the scores. Yeah.
Bridget, your father, he still found time to get married that year in 1975.
It was a very busy year for him, really. Not only did he found a soccer club and start that, but he also got married to my mum, Bernadette. He was really inspirational, to be honest. He really, to have the ambition and drive to do that in a climate that was quite difficult, as in, obviously there was a lot of local native sports, and to be brave and courageous and come back with soccer from England. And I think he wanted more for Ballyglass, and there was room for another sport because we were flanked by villages that had other sports. So I think there was room for soccer in Ballyglass. It was, absolutely. And of course, they had challenges then as they do now. But, he had the right people backing him. And as I would always say, it takes a village, really. And a lot of people helped him up along the way. So his inspiration and his drive, and he had a great vision. But then a lot of people had helped him and backed him along with it, which really made it what it is today and where we are now. He liked to be behind the scenes, Dad. He always, was like a roving reporter with the camera constantly taking photos. And like how he was meticulous with taking the records, he was always meticulous with the photos and wanting to make a memory of everything that happened. He was managing many teams as well, and he was a committee member, obviously, for a long time. But he had passion for the club. That was the main thing.
But obviously, he must have been very proud of the club, the way it developed over the years.
Oh yeah, he was. It was his dream. Like, I mean, it was his whole focus. Like, really getting the team, the jerseys, getting the clubhouse built. We used to be down the Turla there. Played down there myself with the stripes, and when I got the jersey, it wasn't flooded, and he was very proud of that. Like,
James, final word from you. It must be great for the family to see him being immortalised here in Ballyglass Football Club here, and the plaque put up specially to him. It'll be there in his memory forever.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I think he'd be very humbled by the attention, and I think if he was here, he'd probably say to look at everybody else and all the contributions of the community. I think if there was one thing that probably drove him, it might not have been the vision of beating the other teams or winning titles, but to see the community come together. And I think in '96, as you mentioned, when Mary Robinson came, it just shone a light on a small community and said, like, these communities matter, and they can do really impressive things when they come together in a common cause. And I think that's what he probably would like his legacy to be.
Myself and Tommy Joe Welch were down there somewhere, and Tommy Joe deserves great credit for his backing and his ideas. back in 1975.
Tommy Joe Walsh was co-founder of the Ballyglass Football Club. He sadly passed away in 2024. In honour of his dedication to the club, the board presented the inaugural Tommy Joe Walsh Hall of Fame Perpetual Cup to his family. Joan, this is a very emotional day for you and your family.
It certainly is, because like Tommy Joe was, the soccer club was his life really. He absolutely loved Ballyglass FC. It meant so much to him. And sadly he passed away in September 2024.
He's left a great soul,
He'd
hasn't
be
he?
a very, very proud man today. Both himself and Michael Keaveney. And really they should be here because they both died too soon.
Now, I know when you met him, of course, you knew nothing about soccer or football.
No.
You met in the beaten path, actually, at a dance.
We did. We met in the beaten path at the Wolf Tones, and I knew absolutely nothing about soccer, but I learned an awful lot we were together 41 years and we were married 35, so I learned an awful lot about soccer in those 35 years, and I certainly learned an awful lot about Ballyglass FC.
Yeah. And were there hard days for the club to get things done?
Oh God, there were. They were in the beginning because they had no grounds. They played in the Turla and they had no grounds, no clubhouse. And it was only in the early 90s when a group of them, like there was Seamus, I see him there, Seamus and Jarlath and Joe Sheridan, Ray Prendergast. There was a whole group of them that time that were together, Michael and Tommy Joe, of course, and more now that I haven't even thought of at the minute. And they bought the grounds and they fundraised and they got the local community on board because a lot gave loans at the time, interest-free loans to the club, in the hopes of getting them repaid, which they did eventually. And they bought windows for the clubhouse, and they did an awful lot of voluntary, and there was an awful lot of support as well from the community around.
And of course, family have got involved in the club as well, haven't you? Your daughter, Aidan,
yes,
and Brian.
Aidan is involved. Yes. Brian is involved as well. Brian is involved with two clubs, of course. He's involved with Ballantubber as well.
Like a lot of them here.
And Keane, of course, now is.
Yeah, and Keane, and of course, this was his grandson. He was a great favourite, wasn't he?
Oh, absolutely. He was Tommy Joe's pride and joy.
So I believe.
Yes, and he was always down here with them because the white van made many trips to the soccer club.
Yeah. So, and this cup now, and you see this is going to be an annual event now, this presentation every year. So his legacy will live on for many years now.
Oh, absolutely. And that, I think, is the most important thing of all. You know, because he put his lifetime of work, he put a lifetime of work really into it. So it's just a proud moment for us, and that he will be remembered. And he'll be remembered by all who knew him as well.
Lovely. A full history of the club's great 50 years is documented in a new book which was launched at Ballyglass Football Club.
Well, the idea from the book came, Henry, to celebrate the 50 years of Ballyglass Football Club, and I think it was important to record all the memories that have happened and the entire history of 50 years for the current generation, where a lot of them wouldn't know the history of the club and all the work that had gone from previous committee members. So also in the book we have a lovely letter from Michael D. Higgins as well, wishing us the best of luck on the launch of the book, plus messages from all our parent associations and also from the CEO of the FAI as well.
Yeah, we decided on a layout that would really capture all of the jerseys that the club used since its inception in 1975. And starting on the top left, a jersey worn by Pádraig Burke back in the day. And that has continued out over the 50 years. And it encapsulates all the sponsors and the people who really, really looked after us during tough times and good times.
And I suppose everybody will remember our great run in the FAI Junior Cup, when we got to the semi-final of that competition in 1998, and that is very well documented in the book. Lots of coverage in the local papers at the time of that run.
And it's something that lasts forever. You can leave it down, pick it up again many years later, and it just becomes part of our history.
Yeah, big weekend here. As you can see, the place is buzzing at the moment. So today we've started off with our under-11s boys and girls mini tournament. A few clubs from around the Mayo have joined us, so we'd like to thank them. After that then we have our under-13 boys and girls tournament, and that'll run up till around, we think around 2 or 3 o'clock. And then 3 o'clock we have our women legends for former players and local women around the village that have decided to tog out. After that then we have and then this evening at 7 o'clock we have Shane Gannon, followed by a few speeches, and then we have David O'Connor and the band will start at around 10 o'clock, and then hopefully everyone will be rocking at that stage.
And that's only today now. What about the rest of the weekend?
Tomorrow then we're going to start with our under 10s boys and girls mini tournament. That starts at 10 o'clock. Then we go on to 12 o'clock. We start our under 6s and under 8s mini tournament for boys and girls. Then that will bring us up to our men's legends game. Former players, local lads that have decided to tog out. Want to get extra large jerseys for them to to keep them going. We will then have our club presentation awards, and then we have Concord at 10 o'clock. And then Monday there is Ballyglass Annual Sports Day. We have an I Donate, which has been running for the last few weeks, and our club lotto that will finish off the weekend.
So don't forget to join us next Tuesday evening at 8:30 p.m. as we bring you highlights of the Ballyglass Football Club 50th anniversary weekend celebrations. We look forward to your company. So until then, slán go fóill.